Hi, I'm Em, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome, and if you're not, thanks for coming back. So we are fast approaching the end of January. So I thought I would get on and just do my February to be read. So I'm going to talk about a few books that I'm hoping to read or I'm aiming to read over the month. I have 7 books, so I'm going to be talking about those today. If any of you have read these, please just let me know what you think about them in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Some of them I know stuff about, some of them I don't know too much about, but I'm excited to read all of them nonetheless. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. So you might recognise a couple of these. If you get any good recommendations, that's always a plus. So the first book that I want to be reading in February, I don't know what order I'm going to do it in. I usually just pick up whatever I'm feeling out of the pile at the time. I might start with this one. So this is called My Husband by Maud Ventura, and it's translated, so she's Parisian, I think, or like she's definitely French, but this is supposed to be amazing. I have heard really good things about it. It's unhinged woman trope from what I hear, and that's always really juicy. So it's about this lady, I think from what I've gathered, who kind of dotes on her husband to the point where she's like beyond obsessed with him, and she kind of sets traps for him to kind of prove how he feels about her, I think. Look at the cover's really cool. It's so cool. I'm a sucker for book covers. Don't generally judge books by its cover. You do have a really pretty cover. The creative in me is even more drawn to it, so that's that one. At the end of the month as well, I'll be reviewing all of them and then going through and talking about them once I've read them. So yeah, if you like the look of this one, or if you've read it, just let me know your thoughts, because I'm really intrigued. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Next up is a TikTok book. I guess it's been going viral for months now. You've probably heard of it already. Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I've just heard really good things about this. I had this one at home and I just hadn't read it yet, and I don't know where it's gone. This basically centres around the concept, from what I gather, of a cafe or a little coffee shop in Tokyo, where people go to go back in time. They can go and see whoever they want to see to, I think, either make things right or say goodbye to someone, but they have to be back before the coffee on the table gets cold, hence the title. But yeah, it's the stories of 4 visitors, I think. I know there's multiple of these now. I don't know if the other ones are any good, so if any of you have read this, I'm really eager to hear about it. But this is quite a short one as well, I think. Yeah, so it's almost 200 pages, I think. It's quite a short read. I like the sound of this because I really like the premise of it and the kind of topic it broaches in terms of like what you would do if you could go back in time. I think that's a really, really interesting concept. It's really just thought-provoking to me because it makes me think about that and what I would do, and if I even would change anything. There's the argument of things happening for a reason, you know, also us just having no control over what happens. I don't know, it makes me think about that and whether or not I would go back in time and change anything, because I don't know if I ever would. So I think it would be different if you've kind of lost the love of your life and something really, really catastrophic happened. In terms of like going back to visit loved ones and stuff, I think that's a really interesting concept. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to reading this, so I'll let you know what I think. Next up, Rules of Civility by Amor Towles. I've not heard of this before. I know this is the same author who wrote A Gentleman in Moscow. I've not read that, but I've also heard good things about that. But yeah, I did have a little cheeky look online and have a look what people were saying about this. The majority of people have said they loved it. Just, I have this thing where when I was growing up, I was always obsessed, absolutely obsessed with New York and the idea of living there. Just absolutely devastatingly in love with New York City. I've still never been, which is ridiculous. I grew up watching Gossip Girl, and if you know, you know, which is probably, again, why I went on to do fashion. It's still on the cards, still a big dream of mine. So anything that is to do with New York, you've hooked me, basically. I wouldn't jump to the conclusion that it would be a beach read, but I just feel like I'm going to devour this. Again, if you've read this, please let me know, because I want to hear, because I'm really, really excited about this one for that reason. So Yeah, that's that one. We're just about halfway through. The next one I have, which is one that I'm really excited about as well, is called Normal Women by Ainsley Hogarth. As far as I know, it's the same author that wrote Mother Thing, and that's one I've been dying to read, but I don't have it. This is her new one. I've heard really good things about Mother Thing. I've heard, again, it's like kind of unhinged woman trope, I think, just weird vibes. So this one sounds really interesting as well. From what I gather, it's about a young mother, or a new mother. She goes to this yoga centre basically and does kind of strange things to kind of reach your full potential or something. I feel like I'm probably butchering this. She ends up like trying to solve a murder that happens within this weird yoga sex temple thing. I'm probably not doing a very good job. This was another one when I picked it up. Everyone was saying to me, they're like, oh my god, I'm dying to read that, it looks so good. It's got a lot of people talking, apparently. Even just, again, like the cover, I really need to stop with it, but it's just so, it's really strange, but it's really pretty and like cool. I just love it. I'm a sucker for a good cover. I'm really excited to read this. I think I'm gonna aim to read this around my birthday, which is like right the way through the month, just after Valentine's Day. I'm really excited. Next up, so this is another TikTok book. This is Emily Henry's You and Me on Vacation. I think the name's been changed. I think it was called People We Meet on Vacation before, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I've got two of her other books that I've already read, which is Beach Read and Happy Place, which I spoke about in my first video, and I just adored them. This is the perfect romance to be. She just doesn't mess with that sort of thing, it seems like, to just read on a beach. So I read Beach Read when I was travelling last year and just absolutely devouring that book. And then obviously I loved Happy Place as well. So I think, yeah, this is one of the earlier ones if I remember correctly. It's been kind of going around for quite a while now. I've only heard good things about her stuff, so this must be the second one, because Beach Read was first. Yeah, I'm really excited to be reading this when like it's really hot. I flew through the other two that I've read. I have no doubt this will be the same. Again, if you've read this, please let me know what you think. Okay, so I'm down to my last two now. I'm gonna try and finish all of them. Like, this is my goal for February, is to get all 7 of these books that I've chosen read. Also as well, because usually I just pick at random. I don't usually do a TBR. It's just what I'm feeling. So I'm gonna try really hard to read all of these. Next one I have Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zolner. I believe it's a memoir. So yeah, it's a memoir. When I've heard people talk about it, I've heard it's heartbreaking, about a young woman who's just kind of grappling with how her mother passed earlier than she expected her to. I also think that her and her mother had a slightly complicated relationship. It's about the role that food plays within that family dynamic as well. Like, there's a lot of interesting things about it, and like I said before, I love a good memoir, and apparently this one's really moving. To be honest, I feel like it's going to make me miss my own mum, luckily, who's still alive and kicking, thank God. Obviously she's so far away right now, so I think this will hit me hard in the field, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. I've heard a lot of good things about this as well, so I'll let you know what I think. That's number 6. And last but not least, I have Penance by Eliza Clark. I am dying to read this book. I'm so excited to read it. I've not read Boy Parts, but again, it's right up my street. Everyone I've spoken to who's read it has said it's amazing. And same goes for this one. From what I've read about this one, it's kind of a fiction true crime novel. So I was quite confused, when I first picked it up, because I was like, wait, so is it real? Is it actually about a case, or is it a fictional case? Like, I was so confused, and it just put me off reading it for a minute, but that's okay, because we're going to read it now. But yeah, after I'd actually done some research on it, I was like, oh, interesting. Like, a conversation about true crime and about a young girl who was murdered by like her classmates, I think, a number of years back. So it's built off like interviews with witnesses and family members, I think, and the entire premise, I think, is about whether or not this journalist who is telling us the story is actually a reliable narrator. Kind of about the story again of how people react to true crime, I think, how people kind of lap it up, whether or not it's true. I don't know, I've heard really good things about this. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's an exploration of kind of gender, violence, true crime, that sort of thing, and then the idea of like an unreliable narrator, so that's right up my street. This will be probably one of my favourite reads, I have a feeling, but we'll see. If you've read this, do let me know what your thoughts are. Other than that, it's my last book that I'm hoping to read in the month of Feb. Can't believe the first month of the year is already gone. Yes, so thank you for listening to my physical February TBR. If you want to keep up with more of what I'm reading, then do just like, subscribe, and let me know what you want to see more of. And other than that, I will be back with another video and how I got on with these at some point as well. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day, and I hope something good happens to you today. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.